What's going on, everyone? This is Octagonal here from Octagonal Gaming. Now, NBA2K19 just dropped today, and I'm super excited to play this year's game and have some really fun series. Before we start, I just want to give a quick shout out to my boy Spotlight Productions. Me and him did some college football picks. They are on his channel. I will leave the link in the description if you are interested in watching it. I believe it's about 46 minutes long, so it's pretty long, but it's a banger. So let's get this show on the road. I have not done a 2K series in a couple months just because 2K18 was a dead game. The last one I did was the Summer MyLeague, which was the prequel to this series, which is the official MyLeague that we're going to be doing this season. So I'm going to go through settings and stuff, and then you will see the team, which I'm pretty sure you already know. If you watched the Summer MyLeague or the team reveal, which was uploaded a couple days ago, or if you just looked at the title and the thumbnail, then you should know the team we will be doing, and that will be from the Western Conference. It'll be the Sacramento Kings. The Kings have a very embarrassing franchise, at least the past, 15 years or so. Ever since, the Chris Webber days when they should have won the 2002 Western Conference Finals, which was clearly rigged. So I'll just put some of the scouting on auto. I don't usually do scouting and stuff. So, yeah, let's look at the team and get this started. That's a pretty cool background, too. Is that Ben Wallace in the back? I like that. Pistons represent. Next episode, we'll be opening game against Donovan Mitchell and the Utah Jazz, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But let's take a quick look at this Sacramento Kings roster. The best player is a 79 overall, so that's going to be pretty rough. Starting with the point guard position, we see De'Aaron Fox, the second-year man from Kentucky. He will be a building block and a mainstay on this Kings team, putting up around 12 points and 4 assists as a rookie. He's very athletic. He has a developing but not great jump shot, so he's a player that we are very excited for. Backing him up is Yogi Ferrell, the former Indiana Hoosier. He was originally supposed to re-sign with the Dallas Mavericks, but backed out of the contract because the Kings offered him more money. Put up a little over 10 points a game last year. And then Frank Mason, go Jayhawks. He is also on the roster. For whatever reason, he's in free agency. I don't know why. I looked to double check that he's on the Kings and they didn't cut him, and he is on the Kings. So we will pick him up. Go Jayhawks. Frank Mason's a beast. Shooting guard, Buddy Hield, 24 years old, 79 overall, really good jump shot. He's not untouchable, but he could most certainly be a player that we build around for the future. Ben McLemore, another former Jayhawk, as the backup. I don't know why the Kings decided to get him after they already drafted him and he was a complete bust. And after 1 year in Memphis, they decided to bring him back. That's a little weird. And then Iman Shumpert, I think he's on an expiring contract, so woohoo. Small forward, Bogdan Bogdanovic in his second season. Put up around 12 points a game as a rookie. He was a first-rounder in 2014, but was stashed for the first few years before he played in the NBA. So, sort of like Buddy Hield, he's not untouchable, but could be a player we build around. Justin Jackson, only 23 years old. Has a pretty good jump shot. So hopefully he's a player we can develop off our bench. Power forward, Marvin Bagley III, the number 2 overall pick from Duke University. Really, really talented player. He will most certainly be a mainstay and a building block. This is pretty much Marvin Bagley and De'Aaron Fox's team. Maybe a player like Buddy Hield or Bogdanovic can be a good 3rd or 4th option, but the core of this team is going to be Bagley and Fox. Backing him up, we have the veteran Zach Randolph, probably going to be a good mentor for Mr. Marvin Bagley. Zach Randolph is still very productive, even though he's 37 years old. He could be a player that we do look to trade. Maybe some team that's contending will give us a late first-round pick. Scala Bicier, he's only 22 years old. Could be a player who we try to maybe make our long-term 6-man potentially. And then Nemanja Bjelica, good 3-point shooter. He's on way too big of a contract. Woohoo. Center Willie Cauley-Stein, he's going to be a restricted free agent at the end of the season, so he could be a player that we do look to trade. He had a solid year last year, putting up about 13 and 7, but I don't know if he's someone that it would make sense to build around. Kosta Koufos, good backup. He's only on a 1-year contract. Deontay Davis, this is a very interesting pickup. I'm pretty sure he was in the Ben McLemore trade. They got McLemore and Davis for Garrett Temple, I want to say. Davis is very young. He is very raw, but he does have a lot of upside. And could be a player who comes off our bench and is a big part of the team, big role player. And then probably the most interesting player on this roster, that will be Harry Giles, the 20th overall pick in the 2017 draft. Coming out of high school, he was the #1 prospect in the country, headed to Duke, and then he tore his ACL his senior season. Didn't play too much in college, fell to the 20th overall pick. Did not play at all as a rookie, but he will play this year. Maybe he's a player who does start in the G League, we'll see. Frank Mason is still on the Kings. Fix your damn game, 2K. Come on, Ronnie, you gotta do better than that. To pick up Frank Mason, we have to cut a player since our roster is full. So, Iman Shumpert, it has been very nice having you on the Kings, but you will be cut. He's probably not gonna get signed, at least within the next 2 days, so we're gonna have to pay him that $8 million, but it's only for 1 year, so that's not really a big deal. The Kings will be putting 2 players in the G League, at least for right now. They will be Deontay Davis and Harry Giles, 2 young big men. Giles is a player who I think the Kings should call up maybe around January for him to get some playing time, and Davis I do expect to get some NBA minutes this season as well. Something that 2K added this year is G League free agents. I think that is super cool that you can see G League free agents. You see the logo next to the player of the team they're on, which I think is super cool, but the thing is, considering they have all the logos and like the uniforms and stuff, I don't know why we can't play G League games. Maybe there is a way and I'm just stupid, but I don't think there's a way you can play G League games, which doesn't really make much sense, because I think it'd be pretty fun to play with the Stockton Kings with Kobe Simmons, Derek Walton, the 2 guys I sent down earlier, so I think that'd be kind of fun. The only huge problem with the Kings this year is they don't have their first-round pick. That was traded away in one of the many dumb trades the Kings have done this past decade. The Sixers originally had it, but they used it to trade 2 spots up in the 2017 NBA draft to take Markelle Fultz. So Boston currently has the pick. I think the Kings would like to get it back and maybe could trade some okay players away to get it, since Boston is a contender. Maybe they want to get some good pieces, maybe like Bogdanovich, Cauley Stein, maybe even Buddy Hield if necessary. Here's a look at the rotation that these Sacramento Kings will be going with, at least to start the season. Obviously, there's going to be transactions and roster moves and stuff that happen. But for right now, it'll be De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Bogdan Bogdanovich, Marvin Bagley, and Willie Cauley-Stein in the starting lineup. And off the bench, Zach Randolph will be the 6th man, and then Scalo Bicier, Yogi Ferrell, Kosta Koufos, and Frank Mason will all be getting minutes, for at least for right now. Maybe Bielitsa, Jackson, and Ben McLemore will get some minutes down the line. Also, something new that I'm going to be doing this season is prospect profiles, just like in the Miami Dolphins franchise. We'll be going position by position, looking at players. This is the current draft class I'm using. There's only 1 player as of right now, and that is Zion Williamson. But obviously that will change within the next few weeks, so I'm not too worried. That'll end this episode of the Sacramento Kings MyLeague. Episode 2 will be tomorrow. I'm super excited to actually get the series on the road, as of course, back in like July, we did have the Summer League series, which is a mini-series with this team, but now we're actually in the real thing, so that's a lot of fun. I'm probably going to be uploading a rebuild today, so stay tuned for that, and yeah, peace.